Hi guys, and welcome back to my island. My name is Johanna, and in today's video we're actually going to do something a little different. Now if you're interested in the dream code for this, because we are doing a DreamSuite visit of my original island, I will, if I can figure out how to do it, add it at the end of the video, but it'll definitely be in the description box below. So although you wake up in the resident services, I generally see these Dream Island visits starting at the airport, so we're going to do the same. And this is my original island, BriarWink. Now I like the entrance of this, and if I had to call this a style, I'd say it was sort of country suburban, or suburban country, because although I like cottagecore and fairycore, I like to be able to run through my island if I'm questing or just getting from one side to the other. I don't use any of the pathing, although I do have some blankets and things around the island. I love waterfalls and trees and flowers, but I also don't like a lot of clutter on the floor. So you will see that that is my entrance. I'm really happy with it. I was inspired to do this by Solo Chad. At the time his name was Chad Crossing here on YouTube, and he had done a diagonal bridge like this as his entrance for one of his islands. He also has two, but his was more of a 5-star resort type of thing, when I think mine is very just natural looking. Alright, so let's take a look at the map. So the villagers on my island are Bam, he is my absolute fave, Marcy, Kid, Hornsby, favorite number 2, Marina, Hazel, Static, favorite number 3, B, Peggy, and Mael. Now I actually love Marina, but if she does ask to leave, I will let her go, and once we get to her house we'll talk about that. We're going to go off to the right here because my villagers they start here. And with Static's house, he's the only one on the beach. It's actually not a beach house, but he is a grumpy character and he pulls a little older. And so when I was redoing my island a few weeks ago, I thought, well, for his joints and all of that, maybe close to the sun, single level, it'd be cool. He does like to sit and just cruise, so I made a little sitting area for him. Again, like I said, I don't have any of the path, and you know which one I'm talking about, but I do like putting blankets here and there, seating areas, and he is one of the few ones that have given me his portrait or his picture, so I'm happy about that. And then here I just put some music, and I don't know, it seemed to fit. The facade of the house doesn't fit a beach house, but that's okay. There definitely is some reasons. And when you come up here, I put a DIY bench here just because, you know, just in case I need to do something. Him and Hazel, who is the other squirrel, seem to have a really cool relationship, so I put her close. So she's still far enough away so she gets her privacy, but she's definitely close enough if he wants to visit. Now, with the exception of 3, most of the island, oh no, actually that's not true. I don't typically theme the outside area for whoever's who's living here. For instance, this is Mael. She is actually the newest villager. And she definitely has a very Parisian kind of home. Don't do anything strange simply because this is a dream, duckling. I take that back. Now is this perfect time to do something weird. Nice. But her outside isn't anything special. And it's not because I don't like her. It's just, some of them, it's just, I need something for the outside. This is Marcy. You don't look familiar. You must be visiting from somewhere else. Don't you think this island is like a dream? I hope you enjoy your time here, sweetie. Now hers is themed, decorated, and it's more so because she has the little baby, and so I made a little sitting area where if the little baby wants to come out and play, she can sit there and she can watch her kid. I think they're called Joeys. I'm not sure. Now I do like, for one, this particular incline, but I also like when they are a bit hidden from view. None of my inclines on this island are anything different, and most of them are sort of in a strange entrance. Well, they're not very visible. You have to go looking for them. My beaches are rather plain. There actually used to be a tree here, but I moved it. And then for this little area here, I just wanted a little seating area, but I still wanted a place, if I wanted to, that I could just jump into the ocean from here. I think that might be a better perspective. Here I wanted to do like a lake, and I really love waterfalls. I know they're really loud, but I just love them. And then back here, I put a little seating area for the villagers. It's sort of like the floral garden. And I actually really, really like running through flowers. And I imagine, since I'm not on here 24/7, but my villagers are, that they must come here during the day and then just hang out, drink some fruit water. Oh, there's my favorite right there. Hey, Bam. Welcome to BriarWink, sweetie. That's exactly what I'm going to do. A quick sprint around the island. I don't know what burpees are. He's so adorable. Up here I do have a little telescope, some music, and this little hot tub here. I like music in the game, and I also like having little stations full of music. So there was one. And then we also have music here. And then up this way, again, I like my inclines to be a bit out of the way, is Kid. And he actually was the very first one that gave me his picture. And then here, you can't see it, but there's actually a little music player here so that this music can play. And then a little seating area. For the villagers, I do like to put the dirt path underneath. This is the one you can get with terraforming. I think it just looks a little bit more intentional. So if you look, there's flowers everywhere, and for the most part, they just kind of grow wild, except in places like this. Now we're going to go here, and Marina's not home, but Marina was one of the first 3 villagers that I got. So Hazel and Hornsby were the 2 that moved in with me. And then Bam, Marina, and Winnie were the 3 that moved in when you build the houses. So the inside of her house does not look like her house should be. So I've definitely compensated with the outside to try to make it more Marina. But if she does ask to leave, just because her house is cute inside, but it's not her, then I'll definitely let her go, and hopefully we'll be able to meet again. Over here on this side, I need to work on this little area right here. This was a fake, so I couldn't turn it into blathers. So it's going to go here. If anything, I'll put some simple panels and maybe a little seating area here. But I do like the look of it. This is Hornsby's house, and it's very simple because it's very small, but he does like bugs, and I thought this was the most wooded of all of the areas. And when I saw this train in Nooks, I thought of him, so I definitely had to get that for him. And then he doesn't even have a seating area out here, but more often than not, I find him just hanging out in the trees. Now, courtesy of my friend Andy as well as my brother, I was able to get all of the different fruit from the various islands. They had it there and I was just able to harvest, and I downloaded that sign there from the custom code thingy. No, not very helpful, but that's where I got it. I mean, it's pretty obvious what this is, but I just like having the sign there. Up here, you'll notice when we look at the map, I do have 3 other accounts, and so KK Camper lives up here, and that's because I wanted a full-time camp here, because you get a camper maybe once or twice a month. I never actually kept track. I'm sure people know what that is, but I've never kept track of it. So, and this wasn't my idea. I did see this here on YouTube. So he will never have a house. He will always just live in this campsite. And I tried to make it so that it wasn't too cluttered, but it definitely looks like a campsite. If you didn't know any better, unless you see the roof right there, it does look like its own thing. Because I don't want the campers to disturb the villagers, because, you know, generally speaking, they're not here for very long, although he is a permanent camper. But I was very intentional of making it look usable, but not too cluttered, and yet inviting. So definitely someplace people would want to camp if they wanted to. And so coming this way is another little seating area. Now it's a little awkward to me because I like the sides, but I'm not 100% sure of this. I love this macrame design code that I downloaded, and so you'll see quite a bit of this throughout. And that wooden log bench is actually my favorite. Second one are these extra long couches. Now as we go into fall and winter, I'll probably change the simple panels behind, keep the same look, but then change out either the wood style or the pillows or both, and then keep the rest of this here because I think that'd be really cute. Here's another little seating area, and you'll see quite a few seating areas, but they're always out of the way, so they're not impeding any kind of running, because I really do need to be able to run from one side to the next. And I like how that's there. It's completely random. You don't see that anywhere else on the island. And honestly, I kind of like that. It's random, but I kind of like that. Again, you'll see flowers everywhere. I love decorating with flowers. I love seeing the pop of color, but as we do get closer to fall and winter, I might have to start pruning through these and changing out some of the colors, because I think definitely the pinks might be too summery and springy. Now this is one of the other ones that I did theme out. He was one of the first 3, like I mentioned, but his house is fine inside. I think it matches him. So he does have one piece of equipment inside. He is a jock character, but I liked giving him all of this space and giving him a little work area out here. I think since I've saved this, I have put some music up here. Again, I do like having music around the island just because I like the songs. And then the last 2 of the villagers. Oh, and there's Hornsby. Let's go talk to him. Where'd you come from? I say right out of my dreams, but you don't look much like a sandwich. He is a lazy, so that's difficult for him. But I just He is one of my favorites, and he grew to be one of my favorites. This here is Bee's house. It's a very small yard. Her and Peggy actually don't have much space, although probably the same amount of space as Hazel and Mael, and well, definitely Hazel and Mael. But I think it's cozy. They do have the most seclusion, and they also have this river here, so I think it's really cute. A lot of the fireworks things I'm not a huge fan of, but whatever balloons I was able to get, I did put in various yards. I think tomorrow I need to get a few more balloons because I think some are missing. And we're actually going to go back to the campsite. And like I said, I do love to run through the game. And when I go DreamSuite visiting, one of my favorite things is to run through people's flowers. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. Now up here, tons of flowers. And again, a little seating area. And I just let them grow wild, so I don't hybrid anything. So any hybrids that you see, they just kind of happened. I think the hybrid flowers are pretty, but they certainly take a long time, and I'm not into that. And I wanted to show you because that's my house right there. And I want to show you this area because it's one of my favorites. And so I do have some custom pathing on there. The actual animal feet here is part of the game. A little seating area that the lamp lights up at night. I do have an apiary. And I love how this looks together. Now, it's not very practical to have a little picnic area next to where you're farming your bees, but these are happy bees that don't bite you, so it's okay. And there's Miss Marina. It's closer to see you again, though maybe we haven't met before. Happy, sweetie. Oh, sweetie. Sorry about that. I just woke up from a marvelous dream and I'm still getting my bearings. Now, she's one of my favorites, not because she's such a popular character, although she is, but probably a few weeks into the game, I found her in the residential services courtyard, and she was just singing her little heart out. I'd never seen that before, and I thought that was adorable. Alright, I think that's, I don't know if that's my main character. No. I also saw someone else back here. Yeah, I think that's my main. Nope, that's not my main either. And back here, I do have a ramp down to the secret beach. I kept it very plain. If one of the islanders just wants to get away for some quiet time, they certainly can come out here. But Red also has some protection if he wants to come in as well. And I think we'll go look at my house really quick. Sorry about the angle. I think this one is definitely better for you, but for me to navigate, it's easier from that top-down view. Okay, and because there's no windows, and I set the lighting at this, I can't change it, but this is sort of like a living room lounge area. The house is nothing spectacular, although I do love it, but I started the game late, and so there's quite a few recipes that I just have not found yet. So I've just focused on what I do have, and yes, I know that bookshelves are supposed to be pointing the other way, but I like seeing the books, and so I point them from this perspective. And like I said, I like music in the rooms. And this is actually one of my favorite rooms because I love the wall, like the shoji style. But I also like having the KK music on the walls. I think it's great artwork, and I already have these songs, so it makes sense. back here is sort of a throwaway room. This used to be the kitchen, and because I don't have a lot of pretty furniture, I usually, when I do DreamSuite, I come back here because it's just a little faster in my mind to just go straight back through the house. So it's nothing special, but I like it. Off to the left here, it's probably one of my favorite rooms in the house. And this is the study. And I think it looks really pretty. It's a bit cluttered. It is super functional as an office. And at night, it's only lit by those two little small lamps, and so it's just really moody in here. And if you look, I mean, there's even a little mini fridge if you're busy during the day and you just don't want to go to the kitchen. There's just some drinks in there. There's a little cushion if you wanted to relax. Tons of books, tons of paper, and it's just, to me, a very beautiful office. Probably it'll come to no surprise, but the room we're going into is the bathroom. It's very plain, and honestly, I think bathrooms should be. Now, I don't know why there's so many toilets in this house, but I got them all either through balloons or I think through Happy Homes, and so I just put them down. Although seriously, it's just this one I need. And you never know what color bathrobe you want or towel. So yeah, everything is very plain, but it's very functional. The house and the island in general, it's, from what you'll probably see on YouTube, very, very plain. But to me, it's perfect. And then if we go upstairs, this is my bedroom, and I really like it. At night it's super moody because only the candles and the fireplace are lit. If you wanted, you could sit here. There's no TV up here, so there's no chatter, and there's only just music. And I like the orange and the purple and the green combination. I think it looks really good. The lace rugs are my absolute favorite. And those postcard things I actually found from a balloon, and so I just redid them. And I really think it's a pretty room. Again, I still need more things for the wall, and I do have a hamster over here. But to me, it's simple. The island is very much a, like I said, country suburban or suburban country island, so you're not going to see anything over the top, or to me that would be out of place. And then this is the kitchen, and the only lighting are coming from those up there on the wall. I don't know if you can see it. Now, I would love the ironwood cabinets, but I'm still looking for the ironwood dresser recipe, and so until then I actually have some stalls that are turned backwards as my shelving units. But I think as a kitchen goes, it actually really works. So you've got your little table here to eat, there's two chairs, a mixer. I live in Hawaii, you have to have a rice pot, you just have to, and an espresso machine if you want. There was music here, but I actually took it and gave it to someone, so I have since replaced it. And even though, like this one here is an outdoor cooker, and let me turn it. I actually like it in here. For me, it works. I just think it makes it look cozy and looks like someone who actually cooks in here. These are office desks, and I mean, unless you're doing this, then it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I generally only look at the room. Sorry for the spinning. Coming in like this. And so for me, that just looks like an island, and because it's very thin, it uses up the space nicely. And the only two that I've seen is this white one and then the black and the wood one. I would have preferred like a wood-toned one, but this does for now. Again, I just use the materials that I have just because I'm still fairly new to the game. Wait, go up the stairs. And that's a tour of my home. And I just kind of glossed by this, but it's a little seating area out here. Again, I love the look of it, and there's music behind. And we're going to go, I think, to the museum now. Another one of my favorite things is the lamp posts, and so you'll see them in random places around. Now, this is one of my favorite little pathways. You wouldn't know it was there, but this is how I get here quickly. I do have a little seating area. In my mind, I imagine that sometimes Marcy goes and visits other islands with other kangaroos and their kids, and sometimes they come here and they just sit and relax before going to the island museum. There is a drink machine here if anyone wants. And then those banisters, I'm not sure what else they would be called, but that is from Pocket Camp. And instead of this being a world-class museum, I do see this as more of a neighborhood museum. So it's not going to be world-class, but it's definitely some place that the villagers like to go. Let's see if we can take a picture and turn the guide off. Because I think that just looks really nice. When I was building it, at first I was going to make it look really spectacular, but I thought that doesn't really fit with the vibe of the island because it's just a little country place. The only ones that I give Flick to do are butterflies, and not even all of them. I have one more since then, but that's probably all I'm going to do. And then the little fortune cookie is also from Pocket Camp, and there's also a little seating area here. Oh, see the tree branches over there. And like where I was just there, I don't put things down for photo opportunities. I really put things down more so because, you know, what if a villager gets tired, or if they've got friends over from other villagers? That's how I think about this game. Now this is where we have started, and so that is that bridge there. Now what you didn't see around the island is little themed areas. Like a little library or a little dining room area. For me, you're never going to see those because I always worry that, well, when it rains or eventually when we get to the season and it snows, all of that stuff is sitting outdoors. And so in just a little bit, we're actually going to go and look at the other accounts that I've made to sort of circumvent that. So there's Miss Luna, so you can tell it is a DreamSuite. And I do prefer to visit in this style because for Rain Grove, I don't want to mistakenly catalog anything. I don't want to pick up any patterns. I really don't want to bring anything into the island that I haven't found. Now this beach is probably the most made up by way of stuff, and even then it's not. There's Peggy. Let's go say hi. So you're visiting from another island? Are you like even real, sweetie? I think she's cute. And then this area here is sort of what I see as a town square. Now, I've never seen them sit here, and it took me forever to put this together. And it's not really a town square since it's not in the center of the island, but I wasn't sure what to do with this, and I think it looks pretty. Again, music everywhere. And as we head into fall and into winter, I might keep this, I might tear it down, I'm not sure, but that's one of the joys of the game. Now you'll see that the rocks are in random places. I just let them be. I don't worry about it. Here's Nook's Cranny. Here I did put a little area, again, if the villagers are tired, they can grab a snack, they can grab a drink, they can make a phone call if they want. Here is where I keep my turnips. And so some of you might know that I have 67 stacks, and that's because that's all that's going to fit in this area. Now, you can keep them outside. They won't rot so long as you sell them within the week. And I have this purposely here because then as I'm checking if I do want to sell, it's just a really quick run in order to turn them in. So it is definitely by design. And who's this? These aren't the main ones. I can't remember what my main character is named. Which is horrible. JoJo's H. Alright, that makes sense. But we haven't run into her yet. I'm not sure where she is. And then this is another little favorite seating area. Again, it sort of touches on the cottage core, but not really, because it's not blocking anything. So you do have some random things just strewn around, but I can still run from the second floor down. And who is that? Nope. And so that's how I like to design my island. Now I'm actually going to show you the beach before I show you those other houses. And that is KK, so he's the camper that lives up on the 3rd level. Camper dude. Got this area right here. I actually used to have more, but sometimes pretty decent fish spawn here, and then I couldn't get to it, and that just annoyed me. And this little observatory thing here. And then all the way in the back. I've got this little area here. It's a little fishing area. Again, never seen any of the villagers out here, but it made the most sense to me in my head. I love the little pot there, but I don't really have a zen area, but this makes sense. So I can see that the villagers during the day, they come and dry their fish, they come do some fishing, and then if they've caught some decent things, they'll go ahead and stew them here, sit down, and just cruise. And then there's a cooler of Heinekens, or maybe juice, whatever they're drinking. And I just see these little stories in my head. Well, hopefully we'll find my main character, because I'd actually like to know what she says. And then, again, little seating area. I love how that looks. Lots of flowers everywhere. Lots of bridges everywhere. This one is the original bridge that you build when you are in the tutorial stage. And for that reason alone is the reason I've left it, because every other bridge is this style. to me, it speaks to that whole country vibe, just like we've been doing. This here, I had a more elaborate setup here, but for the fireworks, I had actually changed it just in case you wanted to sit and then look up at the fireworks. Now, during the fireworks, they never sit, but sometimes I'll sit here because of the music, and the villagers will come and play, and I think it's just so adorable. Every once in a while, they'll actually sing as well. So I really like this area, and for fall and winter, if I change anything, I'll probably just change from the terracotta below to something a little warmer, either the brick or the wood path, just because the terracotta screams summer to me. Okay, now I had left these because I do most everything on my main account, and then I drop things for here. But this is the library. That's why you won't see things sitting outside, because I think they should be in buildings. Now, I don't remember how much I had finished, but the way that I see this in my head, it's a little study area, a little seating area, and because it's a little country suburban village, I prefer a library over a bookstore, and the different colored shelves just mean different genres to me. There's very peaceful music in here, stacks of books. These actually my friend Andy had sent to me, so yay, thank you. And then back here, and there's only 3 rooms in here, that first one and then the side 2, and that's fine. Again, more books, more different genres of books for the islanders. A little place you can pick out a book and read, stacks of books and books on the side there. And yes, I do use a lot of outdoor furniture indoors, but again, I use what I have. And it does look a bit old-timey, but I saw this as the villager here decided to turn her house into a library. And to hide the bed, I actually put these simple panels here with some book downloads that I got from the internet. I think this is Stale Cupcakes. Yeah, I think it is. And that's one of my favorite songs, next to Bubblegum. And again, very simple room. And as I have time and I get new things, I certainly will update this, but I don't think I'm going to make this house any bigger than this, unless they come out with different looking bookshelves. And to me, I think this is sufficient for the whole library vibe. So as you can tell, there's no room there. And if you can imagine the rugs not being there, this is just a little courtyard area that is shared between the Able sisters, the library, and the cafe. And if you look, they all share green roofs. It was intentional to try to kind of make them look like they really should be those kind of places. Now for here, with the magazine and the book out, I can see that happening by accident. So it doesn't bother me if it rains, if it gets wet. This is the community mailbox, although really it's just the mailbox for this house right here, but I just like having that off to the side. Now occasionally I do see villagers sitting right here, and I always think that's cute. So this is the cafe. And here you can get clearly cakes and things. Since I've saved it, I've actually changed out the rugs. I think I put the lace rugs down, but I love that you check in here with a little concierge, that I used a laptop and someone there as the one taking your order, that you can get drinks if you want to. There's a little doggy and the doggy bowl there. And I actually like the walls. And those happy home things are obviously the ones for this house. And just like cafes, there is a TV if you want to catch the latest news. Very simple, but I think very effective. Those cakes there are actually hats, but then those cakes I received for my birthday. So I think that looks great. But it isn't a bakery, it is a cafe, so you can certainly have coffee and cake here if you wanted. But in this back kitchen, there's also hot food available. Again, I know that belongs outdoors, but I can see just having stew or teriyaki or just local things. Of course, there's a rice cooker. If you want bingsu or shave ice, it's just there in the corner. Those are simple panels in the back to look like windows. And then shelving units with dishes. The tables in the front sort of mask the bottom of it, and I think that looks really nice. Again, very simple. That is a stall, and that lace pattern I also downloaded from online. That is a desk. That fridge doesn't work. That's certainly not a kitchen sink, but you use what you got. Now this cafe, she does charge things, and so this room off to the side is the office for the cafe slash the bedroom. I like the bed that Luna gave because it's small, and so I see there that she's doing her books for the week. She's got stacks of paper on the side there. Very relaxing music, especially when you're doing your accounting. And it's a really pretty room. I like having the simple panels as you walk in so that it doesn't necessarily look like a bedroom, but it also gives the person privacy. So if for any reason a customer walks in by mistake, they're not seeing her bed. I don't know, that just makes sense to me. And then this is a safe where she keeps all the cash. Now this one I might expand because this is a suburban country suburban. Again, I don't know what to call it. I just assume if the villagers have to use a bathroom, they go back to their house. So that's why there isn't one there. But maybe I will expand out so that there's a room there and then get either the attic or the basement and then turn that into a more fine dining area. I haven't thought that far. And so you'll hear bubblegum playing there, but then closer to the museum, you'll have the sonata playing. Again, it's very themed, at least in my mind. I am a bit bummed that we never ran into my character. Oh, that's me. Welcome. Oh, that was a bit of a letdown. That's me, right? JoJo's up? Yeah. Because sometimes when you meet the main character or the main islander, it says something. Alright guys, well that's it for me for now. Again, if I can figure out how to do it, I'll put the DreamSuite code here on the screen, but it'll definitely be in the description box below. I would love to know what you guys think of my island. That is my original island, and hopefully, while this won't be a replica of that, it'll be an island I love just as much. Alright guys, from my island to yours, aloha.